Hello, everyone. It is a very chilly morning here in Northern California, bit of an overcast, and I'm here to kind of talk about two things. The first one is just to give my gratitude and thanks to the Most High God who's teaching me these many lessons that I'm learning. I saw two different things on social media last night, and to just juxtapose what they mean for us who are following along the lines of prophecy versus those who are really ensconced in the residuals of Satan's world. So the first one, I came across a video that was suggested to me. I don't look at things like this, which is plastic surgery, but it popped up, and it's of a black woman who is getting BBLs over surgeries over and over again. She has millions of followers on her channel, and apparently she's making a lot of money. She's had multiple surgeries. Now, this woman, and she shows her before picture, very beautiful woman, tall, shapely, and gorgeous. And then it shows, of course, the video is her of her now as she is today, and a completely different body. And most of it, by the way, is due to surgery. Now, her original picture, she's a petite, thin person. The other picture, you can definitely tell where the breasts and the backside and just everything on her is filled with artificial stuffings, as I like to call it. But anyway, she has people donating to her thousands of dollars to have these surgeries, and then I juxtapose that with many other channels like my own, who don't have anyone doing that as near as to the level and to that level. So the creator let me know that because you're still in the residual phase of the satanic demonic world. So the people, because they are still have that taste in their mouth of demonic um, enticements and demonic taste, that they're not going to gravitate toward the truth. They're going to gravitate toward what they know, which is the lie and which is the artificial. They can't even be interested in the real, which is quite tragic. But I took that as a proof positive that I am on the right track, because we hear where it says the world loves wickedness, but if they hate you or don't even want to hear what you have to say, it's because they do it on account of my name, on the account of the Most High and the Spirit that He has put upon us. So again, this woman has millions of followers, and then I juxtapose that with many of and there's not a lot of us out here that speak truth, and we're lucky if we can get you know uh, some thousands. Maybe in the tens of thousands possibly, but I have not seen not one channel where they have a million point something followers. Not one. They're speaking truth. And that just reminds me that it's just going to be a small conglomerate of people that are going to be in the governmental body politic of New Jerusalem's nation. So it encourages me, and enlightens me, encourages me to keep going. The second thing is the big news of today, but it was, I guess it broke yesterday, was the Secretary of Agriculture, and she was on News Nation, which is a conservative news site, and she is a Trump appointee. Let me see if I can get her name for you. Hold on. Her name is Congresswoman Lori Trahan, Trahan. And what's going around is because she, with a straight face, by the way, stated that, if you haven't heard already, stated that they have done research and 1,000 simulations that the prices of food, because there were, the newscasters or the journalists were pressing her about, the prices being high and people not being able to afford to eat, let alone live and keep house and home, and how everyone is being adversely affected while we, hear about the president, being the chairperson for the oil of Venezuela and charging people, you want Greenland, so he can charge them like $1 billion to be a part of his um his cabinet. It's all kinds of things that are just right forward facing the criminality that has always been in this country. It's in your face now, which is a good thing for the Most High's chosen for that truth to be out. But so that the newscast was, pressing her on this, like, what are you guys going to do about this? You said that things were dropping, but they're not dropping, they're going up. And so she goes, well, in essence, she said, we have 1,000, we did 1,000 simulations. And we know that you can feed a family on, or feed yourself for $3, less than $3. And then she described what you can buy. She says, with a piece of chicken, one little broccoli sprout, not the whole bunch, but the little broccoli sprout, and a tortilla, and something else. She put a little question mark, that was a healthy meal. That was, she didn't actually say healthy, but she says it was an edible meal. That should be enough. So with $3 you can buy. You realize how sick these people are. And I praise the Most High that this has happened, because it makes our words, what we say, brothers and sisters, it makes it more profound and more legitimate that there has to be a cataclysmic change. They are proving us that this construct of white hegemony, of American and European dominance, has got to go by the wayside. We are seeing now the creator of the universe is forcing them out to show their insanity. Because he has, or she has lifted again, she has broken the power of Satan and the demons. So without their help, you can see the madness of these people. You can literally see the madness, but that has always been them for thousands of years. They came out of Europe that way. Don't think that wasn't around King Henry VIII and Queen Elizabeth I time. They actually did that to those people. They starved them out. There is a reason why there was a black plague in Europe. There's a reason why, right? That these people, when the Moors came in, they did clean their water. They did feed them in ways that it benefited the nations. But when they lost power, and due to whatever they were doing against the Most High, by the way, and when the white people took over, the result was the starvation of their populace. Which is why they all migrated over here to get what we had over here, and they didn't have anything to pay with, but they did have blood on their minds and in their mouths, and in their hands, and so they were willing to do it by bloodshed, and they took over. So we should not be surprised that is her assessment of things. But one of the things that I give glory to is that the Most High God is exposing them to their own people. So what, in essence, that the population of America is hearing is that you just got to starve. That's basically what is being said. Like, you got to subsist on a little piece of meat. Grown men and women and their children are supposed to subsist on meat, on a one little broccoli spare, not a bunch, but the little sprout of broccoli, a tortilla. Never mind the seasonings. Never mind any of the condiments that should come with it. Never mind that it's not even a healthy meal. And then a question mark or something else. Maybe that something else was basically water. Drink some water, or nothing at all. So basically starve. You're going to have to starve. And while they wax rich, while they have Doge has gone in there. They got a hold of where all the loot is, and they are literally whatever little bit of break mechanisms that allow the American people to have something out of this country. They done took that, y'all. They done took that whatever little checks or whatever you were getting, which is why they're cutting them down, because now they know how to do that. They got in there. They got behind the scenes so that they can go in there without you knowing their real names and real faces and take the loot. And they're gone. They're gone. They are gone. And what they want to do is I believe that they're trying to gather all the ones who may be wanting to not do it. And therein lies the Most High God. And he just brought this to my mind, that's the fissure, that not everybody swirling in that field of influence is in agreement with the hijacking and the insanity of the thing that is happening right now. And so, speaking to them, the time is now to make a decision. It's not tomorrow. And yesterday was a better day, and today you're running late. So, are you going to produce justice, or are you not going to produce justice? That's the question, because that white woman, Miss Lori, Congresswoman Lori, she means that not for black folks, because we've been having to live like that, which is not healthy. Which has been we survived, but we've only done that because of the Most High. We didn't do that because we're just so smart and great. We did that because the Most High's hand has been on us to preserve through this. But we have not lived in the best neighborhoods. We have not had the best food. We have not had the best treatment, not in one day of our lives. And those who are the baby boomers that had the opportunity, when they got up, they got on. Like too many black people do. When they get a little bit of money, they move out. They don't stay around, which is another thing that we have to deal with, which is why we got to be shut off from the rest of the world, is to stop, to know when to share things and know when to not share things. And we're so busy wanting to be friends with other people that we have left our own children, or the baby boomers left their own children behind, and we all have that relative that as soon as they got their little good job and whatnot, they got up and they got on. And the only time you saw them was during holiday season, where they would flex in front of you. It was a sick thing, really sick thing, and they didn't want to be around black people. But now they do. Now they do, because they're probably getting all kinds of hell right now, living in their upscale neighborhoods, due to the racism that's going on. And that's a lesson for them as well, to have those dirty looks, to have that irritation happen to them. Because unlike Asians and Mexican people, the idea was to bring those resources, keep them in your community, and build up your community. But anyway, the main idea that this congresswoman was saying is that, hey, y'all gonna have to live like the black folks been living now, because we're not sharing shit with you at all. And we know something that you don't know. We know the date and time that this world is going to come to an end. And so we got to gather as much as we hoard. We got to hoard even more in an attempt to try to live past it when they're not. But their insanity is not going to turn right now. They're locked in right now. But those who have not been sharing in those kinds of spoils, they may have still an opportunity to produce justice, but that window is closing as I speak. So I would say that the time is now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, not next week, but it was yesterday or today. So anyway, thank you for listening. Check out that video. There are all kinds from News Nation that this lady was being interviewed, and the insanity is off the chain. Thank you.